Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to review the improved FormFire quoting process. I'm going to start with a little housekeeping first. Your phones will be muted throughout the webinar, but if you have a question, you can type it into the question box. We'll have a short Q&A at the end of the presentation. My name is Beth Davisson, and I'm a broker advisor at Cornerstone. My information and Kyle Wolfe is on the screen if you'd like to get in contact with us. Also, give us a follow on social media. We post industry and Cornerstone updates and information. Go to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube to give us a follow. Earn cash with Cornerstone's 2021 Agent Incentive Program. The program rewards you for your new group and individual sales. The top 20 qualifiers will receive cash prizes up to $5,000, plus one lucky qualifier will win a weekend getaway. You can register online at www.crnstone.com. Check out Cornerstone's COVID-19 information pages on the Cornerstone website, where we post the latest carrier and legislative guidance and information regarding the virus. These pages are updated daily with the latest information. Check it out at the Cornerstone homepage. Autopilot is a compensation-based client referral program that offers the services of licensed representatives to quote, enroll, support, and provide year-round services to clients that may fall out of your business scope, but never off your radar. Activate Autopilot today. Learn more on the Cornerstone website. I'll now turn this over to Kyle.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kyle Wolfe. I'm a new business assistant for Cornerstone. The main thing I do to assist brokers is to run quotes. FormFire has created a new way to quote that we have been testing for a few months. We've decided to show everyone this new quoting tool today. In the past, the way we would quote was much different. We would quote each new group in each of the carrier's quoting tools to produce a typically lengthy PDF. If you requested quotes from each of the carriers, you would probably have to comb through several hundreds of pages to find all of the info you're looking for. This is why we're excited to show you how our new quotes will look from FormFire. So before I begin, I just want to clarify, this is for ACA quotes only. Any MEWA and level funded quotes will still be handled the way they were before this webinar presentation. So again, this is just for ACA. I am going to go over some of the basics of what we need to quote before we start looking at the FormFire proposal. So I pulled up a template. This is what we will be sending everybody soon after the presentation. On the first page here, we just have general information and instructions on how to fill out the quote, where to send the quote, and how long it takes to quote. So I'm going to go to the next page, which is arguably one of the most important pages here in determining group information. So first we have the group name, address, city, state, and zip code. The zip code is the most important piece because that's how we determine where to quote. Please also put in group DBAs if you have any. Tax ID isn't necessarily important at this point, but it really helps when we go to sell a case. SIC code, effective date, current carrier, writing agent name, payroll count, ATNE, full-time eligible, and number of employees enrolling is also very important to add. If we scroll down, we have lines of coverage. Please put an X next to each line of coverage that you wish for us to quote. I'm going to skip a couple pages over to the member census. So this is a dependent level census, so we will need all employees plus all dependents listed on here, as well as all of their information. Last name, first name, relationship, which is either employee, spouse, or child, benefit status, which is part-time, full-time, dependent, date of birth, sex, tobacco user. Employee county isn't extremely important in this, but the employee zip code is extremely important to have. Right here is our coverage selections. Make sure to fill all of these out for all quoting lines. So this is answered either with a yes, a waive, or not eligible. Just to be clear, all dependents and employees must have a coverage election, as well as all of the other information filled in. Now we're going to take a look at our test proposal. So So this is what FormFire spits out after I do the quote. At the top left is the group name, effective date, and the first column is rows full of different benefits available in each plan. As you can see here, several different plans available, and these are ones that I quoted earlier. There's 30 plans here. It shows all of the plan's basic information down below. If you'd like to see more information, you can click on this link or copy and paste it into your browser, and I'll show you the SBC for each plan. If you scroll down, you'll see the monthly premium as well as the annual premium, as well as the age-banded and composite rates for each of the employees listed. These plans are in order from least expensive to most expensive. I will be editing each one of these spreadsheets before I send it out to you to make sure that it's printer ready. But as you can see, I've quoted 30 plans and it's only taken up 13 total pages. Normally, our normal quotes would be around 300 to 400 pages in PDFs. So this should really cut down on time. These spreadsheets are customizable, and you can also add and delete other columns and make it easier to read for your clients. I just want to reiterate one more time that this is ACA only. This is only for ACA quotes, and this is only for medical. Ancillary will be handled a little bit differently. So ancillary, groups 2 through 9, we will be providing shelf rates. So in your quote request, you'll send me your request. I'll do the FormFire medical quote for you. And in the email back, I will also provide a zip file with all available shelf rates for ancillary. So you'll always get 2 files in your email back. For groups over 9 employees, it typically requires some sort of medical underwriting. I will be quoting ancillary for those groups over 9 through the carrier sites directly. Please be specific in your email quote request so that we know exactly what to quote. We will only be quoting upon request. So, for example, if you would like to see a dental plan, please make sure to include in your email that you would like to see a dental plan with the exact benefit details and for what carrier you would like to see the dental plans for. If not, we will not be providing ancillary quotes. Again, this is for ACA quoting only. So far, that's all I have to show you guys. I'm going to turn this back over to Beth, and then we'll go into our closing and Q&A.
Just to review, there are rate sheets available from many of the carriers for dental and vision. Groups 10 plus have to be underwritten because a discount may be available. If you are quoting disability for your groups, we must have the salary and position for each employee. We cannot emphasize enough, please be very specific in your quote request. They will be going to the carriers, and that will allow quoting to be correct the first time. For requote requests, if your group decides to move to a new ACA carrier, we will be generating the sold rates in the carrier system. Please submit an email with the subject line stating requote ACA so we are alerted to that request. This is the only time we will be releasing quotes directly from the carrier system. If you have any questions, let me check to see. There's questions here. You can type it in to your chat box. It doesn't look like we have anything.
There's some under the questions drop down. Yeah.
Yeah, I just see one in there now. Under the FormFire method, do I need to go through each carrier to select which medical options I want to see? Kyle, do you know?
Sorry, I'm having a little trouble viewing the question. Can you repeat it?
It says under the FormFire method, do I need to go through each carrier to select which medical options I want to see?
Not exactly. So if there's specific medical options that you would like to see, please make sure to put that in your email quote request. If not, we will be just using our Cornerstone quote profile. So our broker advisors put together a list of the top selling medical plans for Anthem, Humana, MMO, and UHC. These are the best ones of the year, and that's why we'll be quoting otherwise. At that point, those would be the only quotes that you would be able to see in your quote requests afterwards, unless, of course, you specify that you'd like other plans.
The next question is, will the quote show the difference between employee and dependent rate? I think you said that it would show the age rates and the composite rates at the bottom of the spreadsheet. Is that correct, Kyle?
That is correct. On the second tab, it does show an employee breakdown for each and every employee, as well as age banded and composite rates.
Okay, so here's another question. People are confused and think that they need to go into FormFire and quote themselves. Please explain that they do not go into FormFire. Yeah, all the brokers have to do is send us an email of what they want to see quoted. You do not have to go into FormFire yourself to run these quotes.
Yeah, Beth, if I can add, this is Shelley Brownell, the director in Cincinnati. And so, the purpose here is to show you what the new output is going to look like. So you will send your quote requests into your respective proposal mailboxes, wherever you have been sending those traditionally geographically in the state. And if you have specific things that you would like to see medically, please state those plans. If not, Kyle, as he mentioned, will be providing, and Tara providing you the quote profile, the standard plans. The proposal will come out. Your output will now look like the spreadsheet that Kyle demonstrated. The census template, just to add, that we illustrated is used for any and all quoting. So that's regardless of whether you're doing an underwritten quote and sending FormFire apps, which we automatically receive in an email box from you when you send forms inside of the FormFire tool, or if you're quoting ACA. That is our preferred and standard quoting template. It is what will assist you in getting your quote back the fastest and the most accurately if you're using that. And because it is dependent level, the subscriber should be on the line, and then below it, each and every dependent covered under that particular family. So the census template is any and all quoting, but your output for ACA quotes will now be this single sole spreadsheet with any ancillary that you've requested. And Beth, I can take the next question. Have you found that the FormFire rates for the carriers are the same as the rates when doing this directly from the carrier system? That is a great question. Previously, go back a couple of years with FormFire, they were doing their own rate verification by looking at the filings with the Department of Insurance. Since that time, and why we are moving back to the FormFire spreadsheet, and one of the great benefits is they are using a verification service, an outside vendor that does nothing but this for many other quoting engines around the country or quoting companies. And so these are verified. We've done our own checking because we want to see it for ourselves. And Kyle did a lot of testing on this before we are rolling this out effective June 1. So yes, those rates are verified and they are accurate according to the carrier's systems. I'm having trouble pulling up the next question. I don't know if someone else can see that.
There's a question, does it still go to Dayton proposal? Yeah, if you're a Dayton broker, you send it to the same mailbox. If you're Cleveland, Columbus, it doesn't matter. It'll still go to the same quoting box that you send it to currently. There's a question that says, can you explain the benefits for the new spreadsheet?
Sure. one of the things that this will enable us to produce those quotes much quicker for you, especially during the fourth quarter when we see systems back up. It also is going to allow us to, we believe, shift our focus to really do a lot more follow-up and pressure the carriers to get those underwritten quotes back faster for us in that fourth quarter. And we're going to be devoting a lot of resources to that on your behalf. It's simpler. You will be able to tell immediately by looking in the first column what those ACA rates are relative to your renewal and whether that's a route you're going to move in. And it will quickly also tell you, if you have a current ACA client, which direction they possibly could pivot to save a little bit on their rates in the coming year. So there are a lot of, I think, value adds. And if you are one who doesn't put your quotes into spreadsheets right now for your clients and you're looking for a spreadsheeting tool, it's ready-made for you to go out and present to your client, or now do it digitally or virtually, right, as the current environment dictates. So a lot of pluses to moving toward this, along with that, certainty and trust that these rates are very accurate. They're not going to switch when we go to the sold case status for you. So lots of pluses.
Okay, the next question is, how do we research the SIC code? I know there's a link online you can go to, and you can type in the industry and it gives you the SIC code. We can include that link when we send out this presentation.
Another place to look is on a work comp certificate. So if your employer is uncertain as to what their SIC code is, they certainly can look there as well, another resource for them in their local offices.
The next question I have is, if I want to use the current format of quoting, can that be maintained? And I think the answer to that is no. Isn't that correct, Shelley?
Yes. So if you're referring to getting all of the quotes from the carrier systems individually, we are not going to proceed with that process overall. After June 1, you will be receiving this proposal spreadsheet. I think another question has come in. So if you sell a plan, do we request a hard copy of the proposal? When you sell something and or whether someone is moving to the ACA or you have a current ACA client that is moving to a new carrier, in that instance, you're going to request back to us in those same proposal mailboxes that you use in your geographic area. You will put in the subject line, requote ACA. When that is listed, Kyle will then and Tara be going to the carrier system and producing quotes in that carrier system, as you will need those sold case proposals for sign off, etc. Certainly during the sold case process, or as you lead up to that, there are often many census changes along the way. So if you are just sending in a census change, please do indicate that that's what it's for. You should not be sending that in as a requote ACA until you are ready for your final sales proposal.
The next question is, will you send a list of the standard plans you're using?
We are happy to include, following this presentation, a copy of the Cornerstone profile so that you can see those plans as the carriers adjust those and modify that for the new 1/1. Later this fall, we do update that at that time, but we will certainly be happy to include that with the materials following the presentation.
The next
Beth,
question.
do you see that? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The next question, so if you sell a plan, do we then request a hard copy of the proposal? And that is the requote request that you send to us if the plan sells, and then we will send you the hard copy of the plan that you are selling for that group. The next question, do I have to have my FormFire contract set up through Cornerstone in order to get a quote for ACA?
No, you do not. You do not. ACA quoting, this is the tool that we will just produce the spreadsheet for you in. It is not necessary if you're not currently a FormFire user. Certainly, if you are doing any of the underwritten proposal, MIWAs, or level funded quoting, you certainly want to call your broker advisor and find out how you can obtain quotes there as well, and how to become, a broker working with Cornerstone in FormFire. We have significantly discounted rates from those street rates with FormFire. So it is not necessary, though, that you be a FormFire customer at this time to receive ACA rates.
And I don't see any other questions in here. Shelley, do you?
I do not. I think that's it.
Okay. I think that's it too. So if anyone has any additional questions, just email your broker advisors or give them a call and they could answer those for you. Don't forget to register for our other upcoming webinars in this series and others, including next week's Tech Tuesday, which will cover encryptions and VPNs in the individual corner with a special guest, Oscar. Thank you all for joining us today. You'll receive a copy of the presentation, the Cornerstone Census template, and the available rate sheets in the next day or two. And it will also be available on the Resource Center at www.crnstone.com. If you have a couple minutes after the webinar, please take a moment to fill out the survey that we have prepared. Your feedback is incredibly important to us and ensures that we continually provide value. Have a great day, everyone, and stay safe.